mind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure. To say nothing will be held back today is a complete understatement and really defines what this race means for these drivers as we are about to set off into a hot spin at Hotlanta. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal Limiter Racing Showcase of the ButtKicker 80 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, presented in part by our friends at the Pit Stall Racing Series, the ButtKicker Company, Ford Entertainment Group PC.net, and Lightning Wrapz. Race fans, welcome back to the show. I am your host, the Crusader, Christian Shriver, as always, joining you guys here live on the call, live on the action here as we are in Atlanta, Georgia tonight, presented in part from the ButtKicker 80 here for Pelham Mill Racing League Truck Series. Race 10 of their season with 2 to go. This is going to be a long-run shootout, to say the least, as you look at our grading order here as well. We got a who's who of names trying to either get their first win of the season, or they're looking to try to play spoiler and start to make a chance for the top 5 positions at the end of the season. So on the pole, in the number 66, it will be Corey Stahl. The outside of them, in the number 1, that'll be Bobby Anderson. Row number 2 is going to be the 99 of Wally Babb. Outside of them, the 76 is, of course, Mike Rideout. Row number 3 is going to be Corey Reed. The 27, the outside of them, the 07, it is Cindy, the closer, Taylor. Row number 4 is Joker Joe Nuttleman. The 14, the outside of them, and the 98 is Sean Long. Row number 5 is going to be the 87 of Kevin Baker. The outside of them, that 08, it is Keith Checkmate Taylor. Row number 6 is the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn. The 21, the outside of them, and the number 90, that is Dennis Warnes. Row number 7, that'll pilot down with the 84, Matthew Hoff for the outside of them. In the number 3, it is Jason Henry. Row number 8 is going to be Jeffrey Vickery, and the 7 to the outside of him. And the 20, it is Jeff Oakes. And finally, in our last starting row, row number 9, it's the 5, Chantel the Throttle Pottle, and the 18 of Clinton Seymour. A who's who of drivers about to find out what happens when you cross a mile and a half with the Super Speedway speed in action. 1.5 miles in length, a Lamar Speedway reconfigured just recently this season. The 2022 season campaign, it was changed in order to make things, well, shall we say, a little bit more plate track-ish for the racing and the action that scores away. This place will not be easy to move from. This will not be an easy run to get away from. You're going to watch a lot of drivers, in my opinion, doing 2 things. 1, wait and load up. 2nd, watching the tire limits. Yes, even though they run in a plate track formation, these tires still have limits. They can only go so hard and they can only go so far. And I can tell you, driving an ARCA car, that was bad enough just trying to get a pass going when you were on burn-in tires. So imagine what it's like in the truck series. And that's what these drivers are about to find out. Hailing them down off of turn number 4. Here we go to the ButtKicker starting zone. We're going to line them up. It's green flag racing for the ButtKicker 80. Down across the first leg. The sand, rust, and dust immediately of the trucks already started to take away onto the track. Look at that. That's not smoke, by the way, coming out of these trucks. That's literally the actual leftover pavement, leftover gravel that's left from the track itself. That is what's kicking up on your screen. I don't know how well it's popping up on your end, but over here I can see that a mile away. Oh my. Packed, stacked, racked up, and literally smoking the place out a bunch. You'd have thought it was a dirt track at one point, but nope, it's not. I promise you. Field working their way around the corner so far. Corey Stahl, the number 66, taking the early lead. Bobby Anderson, number 1, trying to gain some coverage and get some speed, bulk up to the speed there. Working their way around off the corners, though. A little trouble there as Mike Rideout on the 76 has a little bit of a problem trying to straighten it out as Bobby Anderson gets a little bit of the glitch graphic gremlins thrown at him. All drivers staying clear, though, from situations and issues so far. Jason Henry, Clinton Seymour, Chantal Final, Jeff Oakes staying back a little bit. So is Robert Kahn and Matthew Hoffert. The top drivers up ahead, though, really hammering down. In my opinion, this right here is going to be an early test. This is going to be an early sign or show how much wear and tear these drivers can take before they really are going to start to have to make some moves here. Now on board here with the Joker Mobiled Up machine, Joker Joe Nuttleman in the number 14, 2 spots up so far. Started in the 7th spot, excuse me, is now going into the 5th. He's going to try to take over for the 4th. He jumps 1 up on Anderson. Anderson is struggling to get some run on the outside. Everybody's struggling up there, it looks like. Yeah, all that power, all that speed. I was wondering how long it would work for them, how long it'd be able to kind of go into control for them. That was the biggest issue. I noticed when I was even running in the ARCA cars and then having to run it in the truck series, I actually tested it just before we came on the show. And I'd say probably the most, you get about 5 good laps on the outside. 5 good laps is not saying a lot. You need to really be working with a huge team or a huge group up there if you want any help getting in further and you want to get up to the field. I say more than anything, it's going to be troublesome for those trying to make a pass. And one of them seems to be going for it early here. Nuttleman trapped on top side. They go 3 wide off. Nuttleman gets clipped. And there goes Baker. Slammed in. Big wreck off of the front straightaway. We got a caution. Oh my word, a pileup in I-235 on turn number 1 and 2. And all due to just an unfortunate series of events squaring them up on the front straightaway here. I don't know if the 3 wide salute was necessarily what they had in mind, but that is what the result is. Anderson dives in the middle. There's the 3 wide. Comes through. Just catches Nuttleman. Nuttleman had nowhere to go. There goes Baker, and away goes the wreck. And this is a pileup. Oh, my word. The big one strikes early, and it struck with a fury. Another look at it here, and again, Anderson, you know, whatever the case may be in his objective here, I think he was looking at trying to make the pass, trying to make the corner off. But when you're stuck in this position right here, this to me just was not the area we were going to get the best run from. He knew coming off it was going to be a tough exit. It's an extremely snappy corner in turn number 4. Even in turn 2 it's a little bit snappy, but turn 4 is the worst offender. And unfortunately, it took down the one that laid in the front. So Anderson causing the crash to come out here, and that will recenter our field off. Sorry for the delay here, folks. I'll take another look at it though, just to show you guys just how crazy that lap was there for these guys, man. That was a seriously violent wreck there, and unfortunately not a lot of room to go from there in that corner. One more look at it. Here's the corner, here's the middle, here's the chute, 3 wide. Anderson's rear end slightly drifts up, catches Nuttleman. Nuttleman's trying to save it, gets into Baker, and then bash. Just a massive pileup, folks. Oh my word. Anderson going to go to the outhouse there. He is being told he's going to get the EOL for that one. They're going to have to recenter him off just a little bit. So the field now having to kind of realize the mistake, realize the objective here has now completely changed. Making your way to the front may not be so easy now. This track is not going to allow for some easy runs here, nor is it going to make it easy for anybody to make it through these corners and through these drafts and these packs. I think they're starting to be well aware of it now. So an issue and a bobble out of the gate here that will have to square up our drivers again. We'll have to see what happens here as things get a little bit further in. Gonna double file back up here. Been a crazy day here on the iRacing service as well as on our end too. This week, of course, is last week before the new bill comes out. You'll see that Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning for some folks. So far, what we do know is GT3 class is going to get a complete overhaul and some updates on the tire model update. We can't wait to see that. Maybe we can finally get some of them on the track and on the racing days. We do know we are getting 2 new tracks so far. One that is a road course from France. I'm sorry up front to those road course drivers. I don't know the name of it out of the gate. And then, of course, the dirt oval drivers, they're getting a little love. Lincoln Speedway comes to the iRacing platform. Should be a good one. Of course, here for the cars wise, do know the BMWs for that Daytona, those 24 hours of Daytona coming up soon. We'll see how that plays out, how well the road course drivers can figure that out, as well as another road course car that's actually free to the service, which is the GR86 Toyota car. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But that's what we know so far, and there's still 2 days left. Who knows what else we'll get added update. We'll keep you updated as we go along. It's going to be awesome to see here and pretty cool to see what happens. But right now, returning to the show for the Pedal Metal Racing League ButtKicker 80. We got 10 laps down. Still got a few to go. Well, at this point, I think the drivers have now kind of learned their lesson. These snappy corners here at Atlanta aren't exactly going to make this an easy drive off. Usually, you see drivers get a little too complacent, a little too out of control. And that kind of forces everybody else up their notch and up the shots here, and they know it too. They got to be very careful about that. Laying their way down, though, through the corners. Gunn Seymour in the number 18. He's trying to get the I Seymour 18 YouTube channel truck up into the front, trying to take down the 27 Corey Reed, who has not been to victory lane in quite some time, to put it nicely. The Reed Construction 27 is in a bit of a downfall as of late, a bit of a downshoot in his career. He says, I'm looking to change that. I'm looking to try to bring it home later on. And he said this was the track. This was his kind of domain, his kind of style. He thinks this could be where he can get it done at. I'll say this, like, being the race leader, I think it's got to have, like, 2 really bad consequences here. And the first one is this, 3 wide down in the middle. Reed gets center underneath, and literally was just about what I was about to say, is that you got 3 consequences of being in the leader. Number 1 is that front straightaway, that quad oval that literally opened the track up. It allows for drivers to make a big straight shot line into the turn and around the corner, opening the doors up for some serious passing opportunities. And the 99 at Wally Bab just exploited. He's your new leader. The other is the fact that you got that outside trying to be so aggressive, so forceful. You got to have that side draft kind of pushing up on you and really making sure you avoid it and trying to keep them away from doing too much damage to you and the crew. And then the final factor is, of course, the bump draft. Like, when you're in that bump draft, you're working outside. That's almost mandatory. When you're on the bottom lane, that's actually kind of an omen. It's a bit of a bad shot because if you bump draft on that bottom and you so as catch that apron, well, let's just say we hope you have wings, because that's the only way you're going to avoid any of the other drivers behind you. There's no braking quickly on this kind of track and this kind of layout. Not with that kind of speed and not with that kind of run. That's what these drivers got to be very fearful of and really keeping a close eye on. 550 horsepower package, downforce though, making these trucks more in line to the Speedway junction. It forces them to really have to stay close, stay in regards to where they're going and where they're at. They don't get many breaks or many opportunities to really stay out of trouble, so they're really constantly on the throttle and constantly trying to outweigh and outshoot the negatives. Cindy Taylor, Keith Taylor are both out of the race here. Mechanical problems down there for their team and crew. They're not going to be able to return out on the track. Unfortunately, a tough break there for them. Joe Nuttleman, who is really the guy that got kind of the short end of the stick, is currently a couple laps down and not looking like he'll get much back from that either. Mike Rideout, Sean Long, kind of in the same boat. Jeff Oakes way behind the field and way behind his ramp. Not going to have time to really get back up here in stage 1. He's going to need to get a little help in stage number 2. Best lap times on your markers right now, and again, it really doesn't matter too much on that in front, but it is kind of cool to see, as our fastest so far has been laid down by Jason Henry out of 30.75 so far. Henry's got the fastest, but he's been laying in the back too. Really kind of coinciding using that draft as kind of his back marker to use up on these guys for later, as they're currently all still trying to take down Corey Reed or Wally Babb, who are your two leaders. We're kind of swapping it out each lap, and because Reed's getting a lot of help from the back half there in the draft, Babb's getting a lot more done on the front half when they get into that draft spot, into that push that they need so much. Lay him down right into the corners here off of turn number 2, though. Still neck and neck here for the lead as Reed actually jumps ahead of Babb, but Vickery is right up top. Reed taking the lead away, but he jumps back top side. He's trying to close him off. You got to kind of, if you can, you try to run it like at old Atlanta. You actually can build up a little more speed. Downside of that, though, is, yeah, pretty much what you just saw Reed do. You open the door over to that bottom lane, and as soon as that bottom lane goes, bye-bye. There goes the leader, and now Babb has got the lead again. Wally Babb has not been to victory lane in a long, long time. He told me earlier today, I have been so floored the fact that I have not been able to catch a break, much less get out of this mess that I keep throwing myself into. I'm hoping to finally change that here with a win today. Not a bad spot really to put himself in, considering what he's doing right now and staying controlling on the bottom lane. Everybody else right behind either staying out of trouble or don't want it anywhere near to do with trouble. Something we noticed too, you saw earlier, only twice have we seen anybody go 3 wide. The first one involved a wreck. The second one, Corey Reed actually had to get the other guys and gals to back off him. Since then, really, they've been a little bit more controlled. I think they've kind of learned their lesson, but when we get to the last laps of this race, there will be no lessons learned. It's pretty much from there, just shoot it out and let them go nuts. And honestly, I don't know if I wanted it any other way than that. Solid run on the top side for Kevin Baker in the 87 right now. Baker, another driver that I've always said can really, when he puts his mind to it, can do some good things and some great things inside the truck or inside the car, no matter what he's driving. But really, in my opinion, his biggest problem, his biggest philosophy issue has always been just avoiding and staying out of his own way. He just seems to find a way to cost himself or get himself more in trouble. He nearly did it again. Got clipped up there by Babb, almost sending everybody in a bit of a tailwind. Corey Stahl had the presence of mind to back off as Jeffrey Vickery got caught up in the middle. Vickery, though, backs down, gets out of the way. Baker's your new leader, but Baker nearly taking the 99's front corner panel completely off, and the whole field with him almost. And some of these drivers have already used an instant air up. They only get one. So if they use that other one up, well, let's just say you better hope you know how to find a way to repair or damage quickly on a truck, because I don't think they're going anywhere. Very close move by Baker, and again, that could have ended in absolute disaster, but good driving there by both Babb and Baker, and then the rest of the guys behind to stay clear of the mess. Dennis Warnes, though, he's finding himself in a little bit of a tricky mess here. He goes to the apron. Remember what I said earlier about that? You go to that bottom apron. If you get trapped down there, it's no man's land, and that's exactly what happened. But the stage caution flies out on lap 25. We have completed the competition caution. And Kevin Baker is going to take this one home. He baked up an apple turnover and threw it right at Wally Babb's face, and Babb had absolutely no idea what to do with it. Well, now, Babb, Baker, you two have to figure this out, because right now you two are pretty much deadlocked on this one. When we come back, race fans, that's been a wild one. One huge wreck, took a few out, but since then, everybody else has been hanging in there. Tonight's race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway has been brought to you in part by our friends at the Pit Stall Racing Series. Be sure to catch them on the Thursday night action-packed track racing here as they break the Super Late models back to the biggest tracks of all in age. And also, if you're interested in joining, be sure to visit them up at the Pit Stall Racing Series for more information. By the ButtKicker Company, best informants on feeling real tracks of the virtual world, the ButtKicker. Feel what you have been missing. by Ford Entertainment Group PC.net, matching your want with your wallet. Ford Entertainment Group PC.net is looking to bring you the best and the greatest out of your PC ideals. And by Lightning Wrapz, with the most affordable designs made at your leisure, Lightning Wrapz is looking to bring the best designs to your libraries.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I searched high and low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
Battle Metal Racing League Season 8 would like to give a big thank you again to our sponsors for all their support throughout this season, through all the showcasings and cases here on the track. Without them and their support, we wouldn't be able to get where we are today. And now back to the ButtKicker 80. Back indeed, live race fans at the ButtKicker 80 here on P10 Race TV, live on the Facebook Live segment here, YouTube. We know you're watching here later on in the show. We thank you, appreciate you tuning on in later on as well. So far out of the first set of the racing here product we brought to the table, the competition caution, bringing us a little bit of time to reflect on it. Early on, trouble striking for Bobby Anderson and Joe Nudelman, both drivers collecting each other down through turn number 3 and 4 after Anderson goes 3 wide. Then from there, it was pretty much a solid, clean getaway there from that later half before competition caution came out. That was where we had saw Corey Reed take advantage, while Wally Babb threw a few jabs and some shots at him to take the lead over. But then Kevin Baker whipped up the apple turnovers and turned this race on its head and threw one right at Babb's face and gave him the old bumper for his troubles, almost causing a little bit of trouble, but both drivers able to keep their cool and everyone else behind, same as always. And that now has reflected us to where we are now. After the pit stops have been made here, we are currently looking at your field of drivers, and Corey Stahl is now your new leader in the 66 coming from pit road. Jeffrey Vickery in the second spot, Babs now in third, Anderson back into the fourth, Baker riding in the top 5 to kind of holster down, kind of keep into this momentum here. Top 10 from here, Corey Reed in the 27, the 6th, 7th is Matthew Hofford, 8th is going to be Clinton Seymour, 9th going to be Jason Henry, and Dennis Warren's going to be in the top 10, rounding out your row 5 section. Everybody else right now, 13 on back, still on the lead lap, trying to hang on, as currently 14 on back, either out or pretty much about to be done and out. Sean Long, Mike Rideout, both drivers on a less lap stable here. Joker Joe Nudelman currently a little bit pretty much pressed for damage and everything that suffered through in his end. He's currently going to have to need a little bit more cautions, a little more help if he wants any chance at this point. And the closer, Cindy Taylor, and old checkmate Keith Taylor have both left the building. They are both out of the race here. Damage caused from the wreckage. Well, race fans, here we go, coming down off the ends, off the playing fields here. Drivers now ready to pursue and shoot through the field. Right down to the lanes and down to the field. Green flag is back on out. Well, the first part was a little bit crazy. Now, how will the second part of this race go? The second half just about to begin, as we have now leading them down through the first section of turns. So far, so good. Fresh tires and some fuel under the hoods definitely will help the engines roar more to life, and that's given Vickery a little bit of hope and some Speedway to make it around to Corey Stahl in the 66. Corey Stahl, part of what could best be described as one of the most absolutely wild finishes we've ever seen here on Pizza Race TV at Dover Motor Speedway, where he had completely been just thrown into the wolves and managed to hang on, spinning it right to the line coming off of turn 4. But since then, he has not been able to get back that magic. Jeffrey Vickery has figured out a way to do it in a little bit more of an easier case, as he's currently parked up some good numbers here, winning it out back at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the longest race of their time. Even though it was only 80 laps, it's still more of an endurance than most even realize. Can he now figure out how to bring that endurance here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, kind of the sister track of Charlotte Motor Speedway in regards, but certainly a bit of a defender when it comes to what they have to do now with this track and this layout under this package deal. And again, there's always been that argument in that case of people still not liking this package and still wanting to revert back to the old 600, 670 or whatever you want to call it. Just let them run out from there and do the old hard racing antics. But in my opinion with old Atlanta is that because it was a worn down, surface wore down kind of end, that allowed you to do it a little bit better than anything. But with this truck, this series, these cars, I mean, really, you can't do it that much, if at all, anymore right now until the surface breaks down a bit more and you have a little bit more time to kind of develop, and other drivers and other teams. I think after a while, then you can really start to kind of hone off of the plate track deal. It really depends on also what the fans want. It seems like the fans do like these super speedway kind of races, so it's part of the deal, I guess you could say. It's just what they're going to have to deal with and what they're going to go with. So Sean Long currently a lap down here. He's trying to get that lap back. While field currently stretches out more than to go. Jason Henry backing off much more than anyone else here. And again, he's doing this right now for one thing. He's objectively trying to stay out of trouble. He's waiting to save his tires up, and then waiting to kind of hit the full throttle attack mode on these guys, or as I used to call it, the full throttle assault. Paying close attention to what they're doing up front here is a big thing, especially when you need to be watching every single corner, every single angle, because of how sharp Atlanta Motor Speedway is in the turns. It's pretty much just kind of coming right in your face. So again, that tears the tires up more. But not only that, but also it just kind of sways the truck up a little bit harder than usual, and it becomes so much more difficult to tame and configure. The only place you're going to see a lot of good passing opportunities and chances to hit it when you're on burnt-in tires is literally on that outside on a draft pack here, and you got to push that draft as hard as you can. But those that stay on the bottom, they have kind of an unfair advantage until they get a little bit loose, and that's where the tire wear really then affects them, because you can see him right there, Clinton Seymour. He just barely taps the apron, and look at how much speed he just lost right there. He did not have any kind of momentum to come off from the exit, all because he just barely catches the apron, and that allowed the outside now to get a bit of a jump, move some momentum up, as the airflow and the current, now with the speed starting to build, is starting to increase momentum. Friction starting to develop. It's kind of like science here, guys. Bear with me. You get a little bit more control, a little bit more grip, and that friction and grip equals speed, and a decrease of dirty air allows the draft to become faster than one car. You got that? Because I just gave you a science lesson that you can tell your teachers in school. Just tell your teacher, your old friend the Crusader, gave you a lesson on how speed and aerodynamics work when it comes to driving around 2 tons of equipment. try it. Next part, they'll be impressed. Your next science class. Or you had to do a science fair research on it. That would be even cooler. I think it would work. Well, anyway, all jokes aside right now, currently Vickery starting to not exactly get a lot of momentum off the corners and off the chute. Currently struggling to get around. That 66 of Corey Stahl, no aim or no gain there. And he's looking inside as much as he can, but Stahl, you can see right here, he sees once he starts to do it, he immediately just jacks that floor panel down to the ground because he's not letting anybody by, if at all possible. He's got to keep that momentum high, though, otherwise he could be falling into disrepair and falling into dissuit here. That's exactly what he does not want, and he knows it. Kevin Baker right now kind of being the pusher of the top side there. You can see he is jamming that front end into the rear end of the 27 of Corey Reed, trying to get him to push up and get to the 1 of Anderson to then get to the 7 of Vickery. What that does is it actually shifts the momentum straight inward to the draft and into the pack, so it actually allows for more speed. If you got more run coming from the draft to push up, giving that bump allows for the others to actually kind of maneuver around and get more power off it. One thing I'm starting to notice too, though, take a look at the back of Vickery. Notice something different to everyone else? Maybe you don't notice it there, but maybe take a look at Corey Stahl's truck. And now back to Vickery. You see it now, my friends. Look at the bottom right of your screen on that corner panel. You can see that thing is scraped up and it's actually bent in. That could be a bit of a problem right now. Vickery, without that airflow kind of maneuvering through to the back of that spoiler, he's not able to carry the momentum down and get a lot of run off it. And that could be hurting his chances. The dirty airflow as well from Corey Reed conditioning him to really have to use that side draft to enable the truck to actually close off the dirty air and then increase the speed. But again, with the tire wear now, that's also starting to play a factor and really starting to hurt these drivers more as it goes. And they know it too. So those that are staying in the back right now, they are starting to figure out quickly, if they don't start getting some momentum kicked up or getting something figured out, they're going to be kind of stuck or trapped in a bit of a bubble here. But I think also they're looking at two things. They're looking at that fuel mileage now, and they're also looking at the tire wear. Now, we haven't talked about this all day, but yeah, in plate tracks, fuel is a huge part of how you can be either successful or fail, depending on how you hit your mark and how you hit your corners. Some drivers have been able to really divest and digest how to master the fuel mileage and the run that they have to carry by simply just studying each lap, each corner, and then how much fuel that it consumes. But also, many others have figured out that if you stay in the back and just kind of stay about half throttle or on throttle and then off throttle a little bit more often than what you're doing up front, when you're having to go full throttle, that actually gives you a bit of an advantage, a bit of a chance. But then comes really the question that I think I want answered the most right now, and you can probably guess what it is. If we need to get fuel, we need to get tires. How are they going to get into pit road without destroying each other going to that corner? That's where I know for sure the radio communication is going to be an absolute must. But you may not be able to see it. We'll see if we can get around to here off of corner number 4. I'm going to show you guys where pit road is, but watch this. They come around here down through turn 2. You can see that back stretch just barely is narrowed out versus what it'll do in turn on the front stretch as Vickery is looking for the lead here, trying to get around Stahl. Murphy trying to get around, but here's the corner here. Right, look at this. Look how tight it is to get into pit road. There's your corner right there. And you're going from that banking to almost a dead straight on shot into that speed endurance little sector. So if guys behind you are not communicating and not telling them when they're going to pit road, well, let's just say this is not going to be a pleasant day for anybody that wants to get in there quickly. I know, it kind of reminds me too in some ways. Kind of reminds me a lot of like Texas Motor Speedway's pit road before they finally figured out how to get that thing opened up more. And even then, it's still narrowed out badly. Kevin Baker into the wall with Corey Reed. Corey Reed slamming the wall, coming down through turn number 1. Reed must have overdrove it. Tires took too much out. And Baker kind of playing follow the leader a little too much. Got behind him and lost all of it. Not the case, and not a good move there for Corey Reed. That will slow down his speed. He's going to try to get it back from the draft as he goes to pit road. He's the first one to enter in. So that makes it a little easier now for those that are up top side. Only Anderson and Vickery now have to decide when they need to go to pit road or when they're going to have to. And again, they're also going to have to figure out how to fight the guys on the bottom to get to pit road, because that's no easy task, and that will be no easy feat here, I guarantee it. Pretty much deadlocked on arrival right now here. Every one of these guys here just so floored, enamored, and focused right now. It's very impressive to say the least here. As we go on board here with Jeff Oakes in 20, he's got a race win already this season. Oakes, I think, so far throughout our entire seasons has had race wins. And wait a minute here, there's trouble. The 14, Joker Joe Nuttleman gets the caution out here. Problems for the 14. Something gone wrong there, unfortunately, and it looked like he found himself kind of trapped between the proverbial issues here. Looks like he went on the apron, and remember what I said earlier about that apron? Yeah. No do-goodery there. Slams it in the wall, and you can see Corey Reed once he goes by him. That's when caution comes out. There's nothing you can do at that point. You can see he tried to get off the track, though, before it was too little too late, but it was not to be. Let's take a look at the onboard camera here with Nuttleman. We didn't quite get much of that onboard camera there. Actually, transmission got kind of jammed up on that as we were going in, so our apologies there, folks. Pit stops now are going to be made here, and this is going to be a very tall order for anybody involved in this situation here. Well, the good news is everything I was talking about earlier about having to figure out how to get into pit road now kind of reassures these drivers they don't have to worry about that no more. But downside, though, is now they're going to have to stack up again, and they know right now stacking up is not a good sign here. And it looks like fuel mileage, they may be a few laps short. I think they were trying to go at least another 5 or 6 laps before they had to go in to try to save as much fuel and as much power as possible, but that does not look like this is going to be the case here for them. And what a tough ordeal there for them and their team. Dennis Warren's enabling himself to stay out longer than everybody else. His strategy is pretty clairvoyant, pretty simple, really. He wanted to make sure he got as much fuel in as possible so he had a better chance to outrun these guys and kind of outpace them. Jason Henry, Corey Reed also had the same idea. And the problem is now they got to hurry back out up pit road and get onto that backstretch here before it's too little too late. Well, that will certainly make things much, much more difficult. Back to the green flag we go off. We're going to field him back down on in. Let's see where this goes from here. Corey Stahl immediately getting a good jump. Matthew Hoffer in the 84. Remember his battle and his fight there at the ButtKicker 80 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway last time out. He's looking to try to redeem himself there. Felt like he could have won it and felt like he had the chance to do it. He's trying to make up for it this time as he leans it off turn number 4. Yeah, there was a track he was going to have another chance at really getting that first win at. This is certainly a good track to get it done on. Hoffer, in my opinion, extremely excellent at the plate tracks. He knows how they run, how the push will go, and how the drive can be. He's very determined to get it done here. But Corey Stahl in that 66, he's not going to let anybody up there that easily. He's not letting anybody pass him so easily or quickly. He will make sure he floors it on him. Exactly what he's doing right now as we currently watch on here the field. Whew. Just trying to drive the extreme outside line. They're getting a little bit ramped up there. Nothing really too new, to be honest with you guys. We've seen it before where drivers just want to kind of make the most out of their equipment and the most out of their speed. Oh, slammed right into the wall. Trouble. Vickery slammed in. We got to pile up again. They're turn on the front straightaway. Chantel Bottle is airborne. The 5 went completely airborne on the front straightaway, and a huge wreck ensuing yet again. Another huge and cluster of a pileup, and many drivers that weren't involved in earlier or were involved just got added to the bunch. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Let's just take a look at the replay. Came off here. Vickery drives it. I don't know what the heck happened to that 7 there. He went straight into the wall. There goes the 5. The 8-7. Oh my goodness. Kevin Baker and Chantel Powell just went completely sky high there. My word. Oh my goodness there. Let's take another look at it here. It looked like Vickery went completely up. Looked like he was trying to make a pass here. Yeah, that's all on Vickery there. He went right into the wall. Look at the hang time on the 5. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. At this point, are we even going to have any drivers surviving this race out? I don't even know if we're going to have anybody finish this race out at this point. This has gotten chaotic. Well, I really don't know where you go from here or what you can even say from this one, folks. We have lost a lot, and I mean a lot of drivers. You want to know how many we've lost? The top 6 right now, they're the only ones on the lead lap. Mike Rideout right now currently is trying to get every piece of damage fixed on that thing to have any chance getting back out there. Jeffrey Vickery right now is a lap down in 8th, and everyone below is either destroyed, out, or they're getting towed, trying to get this truck back out on the track. The only remaining survivors right now, Clinton Seymour, Robert Kahn, Wally Babb, Bobby Anderson, Corey Stahl, Jason Henry. I've always made this old joke, and I've said it since 2 years ago. I always said, and I quote, I wonder how long it would take before we had one race where nobody finished on the lead lap and nobody finished the race entirely. Like, where we actually had all the trucks, everything get destroyed, and you could not finish the race. Like, what would happen? Did we just call and time it and just say whoever was surviving stands and wins it? I always made that joke, and I didn't think for 1 second that might actually come true. But the sad truth and the fact of the matter is, right now, that is actually feasible. And I can't believe I'm saying that at a team and a set of drivers that have literally been so good and so clean this entire season. Now almost look like two cats inside of a rat trap trying to catch a mouse who is literally inside of a corn maze. That's the best way I could have put it. And if you know how narrow a corn maze is, you know what I'm talking about. Well, here we go now, race fans. We're going to have 20 laps remaining. Stay tuned to your show. Stay tuned to the TV, the computer, the cell phone, whatever you're watching on right now. Because honestly, I don't even know what the heck's going to happen next. All I can say is just hope and pray that it all finishes out the way it needs to. Because this could get bumpy. Throughout the season, throughout these showcases here, we have seen many winners all throughout the show, all throughout the tracks and the racing. But we've only had one winner this season win twice. Robert Kahn, actually 3 times, excuse me. Robert Kahn has 3 wins to his name. And he's the only one to get any of them multiple times. Jeffrey Oaks, Jeffrey Vickery, Chantel Pottle, Corey Stahl, Hunter Hansen, Chris Bass, they've all visited Victory Lane. 1 point this season. Will we see Clinton Seymour, Wally Babb, or even Jason Henry make it to the stage? Let's find out. Here we go. Green flag back out. 20 to go at Atlanta. Pressure's on. Kahn's already jumping to the top. Oh, he's in the wall though off the backstretch. Anderson having to back down. Closing the gap off again. Now the field has to regroup. Jason Henry going to go right to the inside looking for the shot. Kahn's going to be your new leader as Seymour tries to clip him on the outside. Oh, he's got the right hand clip though. He got the right fender coming through. You saw Kahn literally working the entire wheel right on the front straightaway. A good view from our producers there. You saw that wheel literally jerking left and right. He was trying to hold it down. Seymour got off the throttle quickly, realized his mistake, and Kahn was able to save it from that. And good driving by both guys there. My word, though, that was close. Henry and Babb right now look like they are both in a deadlock right now, trying to evade the other. 18 laps remain. Kahn looking yet again to claim another championship and another title stake for his illustrious career. Bobby Anderson probably watching on right now with a bit of close eyes and close contact to the field. Knows he's been caught up in situations earlier on or found himself in the middle of it. Seems to have calmed down a bit though and learned his lesson, and he's been trying to keep a close eye on where he's at and where he's playing through the field. as Henry is stuck on the outside. He's got no room right now. He's trying to get to the bottom. Jeffrey Vickery currently in pit road, looking to get extra damage cleared up. Looks like he's got some problems with the officials down there in the pit road side, and they said you had to come back in. Well, he's back on out. But he's going to get a lap down. Unfortunately, that's going to cost him big time. 7 positions are on the lead lap. And that's all we have on the lead lap right now, if you can even believe that. Wallybab trying to hone in on the attack, trying to find some openings here. Bobby Anderson trying to do much the same. Remember Anderson, though, he's got a good look and a good shot here, really taking control of his chances and of his race here. Knows that his season's not over yet with that rattlesnake. Neither is Jeffrey Vickery's or the Wallybabs, the Jason Henrys on the times of the top 5. Remember, top 5 at the end of the season will claim a prize. A lot of it could be in many forms, and a lot of it can be in many ways. But again, you have to finish top 5 in points. That increases the momentum, increases the driver's will to fight. And again, with the way the point system racks up, 10th on back only gains so much. You only get about 1 point X better than you would if you're in 11th. Everyone 11th on back pretty much has to, shall we say, kind of run the ladder, run the gauntlet. Those that finish in the higher ups can get gain the most points and the maximum amount that they need. Keeps things consistent, keep things controlled and powerful. And again, with a season like what we've seen, we've been to plate tracks, we've been to intermediate plate tracks, intermediates, short tracks, road courses. It's been pretty much one of the most wild and, frankly, unexpectedly amazing seasons we've seen in quite some time for the first half. But the second half certainly is showing what these drivers are flipping and trying to hurt there. Kevin Baker saying that flip hurt in the comment section. He is out of the car. Baker, we're sorry to hear about that, sir, but at least you are okay, and we hope you be able to come back out on the show next time out here, buddy. And by the way, there are only 2 races left in this season here for these drivers, so they know points are in a high regard and a high stake here. They cannot make too many mistakes. Jason Henry on the outside of Valvoline 3, still looking for that first win of the season and the first win in quite some time. He knows a thing or two, though, about winning on the plate tracks. One of his first career wins we ever remembered him for was that on a plate track. He got it at Talladega, then he got one at literally one of the tracks I didn't even expect him to get it at, but iRacing Super Speedway. You're probably wondering, how could you kind of count out iRacing Super Speedway in that case? You gotta remember, iRacing Super Speedway is like a gauntlet. That place will tear you apart if you're not careful. This is what the camera looks like right now, currently on the blimp side here. We are just 10 laps remaining. You can see the white-ended Henry and the black-ended green specked up. Bobby Anderson still defending off the bottom lane, trying to defend off everybody else who tries dare come for his spot. Currently, every driver right now just kind of in a wrapped-up piece of racing history here. Anderson's already been to victory lane. Khan's already been to victory lane. Henry and Seymour have yet to visit it. But running on that extreme outside line, they know they're running a huge risk here, because they're going to wear the tires out and they're going to tear up a lot of equipment just trying to get that truck to grip and trying to give them up momentum. But on that bottom lane, that actually is a bit of a disadvantage on the exits, which could enable the 3 and the 18 if they can just hold on to win this one out. Still dead even through the ends. We're going to put the top 5 on your screen for the final 10 laps here. Henry trying to make a run for it on the outside. The 18 and Clinton Seymour still dogged up in position, still holding on. That time by, if we finish this race, that would have been Jason Henry's by less than a tire. That would have been about a fender from the fender to the bumper. That's how close that one was. He's holding on. Seymour trying to do everything he can. Amazing what you can do with just 2 drivers up there. Now look what you can do with 3. Back pushing the 3 and the 18 in a deadlock position. Anderson and Kahn left all alone. Anderson, he catches the apron a little bit. That slows the momentum down. Now Henry to the top, to the bottom. We've got a new leader. And Bab got left behind, dead in his tracks, probably wondering what the heck he did to deserve this. Anderson now swapping to the top. Look at Henry, he swaps back up there too. Oh, but he may have overdrove a little bit. Anderson nearly clipping the corner off the 3, backs down in the turn. Defensive action here from the 3 of Henry and Clinton Seymour in the 18, trying to do the same. It's a deadlock here for this position with 6 laps to go. But it looks like the outside has momentum. Anderson pushing Henry far beyond what he expected. Anderson with the slingshot right through the inside. Henry wasn't expecting it. He loses the lead. We've got a new leader yet again. These guys just will not give an inch. They won't give up. They don't want to give it up. Oh, winning this track would be so rewarding and extremely necessary. This is the first time Pedal Metal Racing League has visited New Atlanta Motor Speedway, which many have kind of referred to it as Atlanta Super Speedway, for the fact you're seeing what you're watching now, which is plate track racing on an intermediate size track. With 5 laps to go right now, Henry is in a deadlock on the top side, trying to fight off Anderson. Anderson trying to keep him down there, trying to keep him up there. Seymour trying to find a way to make a move off on him if it comes to it, with under 5 laps now to go. Who's going to get the advantage, and how bad is the right front burning up on not only the 3, but the number 18. They were up there for a long time. Did they use too much of it up? But it doesn't seem like it. Seems like they're still good. Henry's so desperate he can taste it, but watch out, Bab's going in! 3 wide! Send to the corner! Fenders put together! Henry's in trouble! He wrecks it in front of the 5, and the caution flies! And possibly the maiden voyage for the 3 has gone up in smoke. Unfortunately for him and his team, we'll have to go visit the P-Tim Instant Replay and see where and when exactly the corner came off, and did Bab clear the 3 after the 3 wide. Here's the objective. Here's the 3 wide. Here comes Bab. Slight tap. Ooh. The judges I've got some work to do. To me, it looks like the 99 just clipped the 3 enough to cause him to lose control of the truck. Well, another look at it here from another angle. They were still 3 wide. This is what got the 3 loose. There he is. He's loose. He's lost it. He's gone. Gets back into the 99. And even though Bab saved it, wasn't enough time for that. Well, the judges made the ruling. They're going to put Bab in the back. The official's telling me right now that he went 3 wide, and in the rule book, you go 3 wide and you cause a wreck, that's on you. Doesn't matter what else happens. If you go 3 wide, you run that risk. But again, on a track like this, you almost have to. And in pressure situations like that, I don't blame him for going for that move. But in turn, it did cost him. He's going to have some work to do. Not saying he can't win this one still, but you can see right here he's already in a troublesome spot. He's going to have to fight for this one. Corey Stahl, Bobby Anderson, they're going to go at it. Mike Rideout, Clinton Seymour, your row 2 literally have not had anybody win in this situation. Predicament. I don't know, Seymour, I don't think you need to give Rideout any more trouble. He's already destroyed his truck up enough today, buddy. But those two right now yet to visit victory lane as we're about to approach the first of 3 green-white checkers. This should be an interesting stake, an interesting position right now to throw them in, as right now Rideout and Seymour, they're going to have to find a way to get either to the top or stay in the bottom and make for the best move they can on Anderson and Stahl. Anderson is obviously going to defend the heck out of that bottom, but if he has to go up topside, I don't think he'll waste any time on that 66 trying to go for that run, go for that position. But again, for everyone else in the back, though, the only thing they're going to be thinking about is drafting this thing into oblivion. There's not a lot of room left and not a lot of places to go. Race fans, this is it. Coming off of corner number 4 to the ButtKicker restart zone for the final time, perhaps. This is your green-white checkered attempt. Overtime racing for Pedal to the Metal. Great start by Anderson. Stahl waiting around. He got the outside to kick up speed. Here comes the draft. Now can he get the momentum from the 18 to carry over? He can. Anderson trapped on the bottom. Now the run comes. A huge wreck ensues again though. Henry is upside down on the back straightaway. Another caution flies. Huge wreck. Oh my goodness. Clinton Seymour looked like he got completely taken advantage of there in that wreck. Henry got kind of whipped up in there too. I couldn't tell though from whose side, who did it first and where did it come from. We're going to the P10 instant replay. We're going to have to view this again here, folks. There's the hit. Henry gets the 18 of Seymour, slams the 18 right in the back, and unfortunately, no room for error there and nowhere to go. Henry knew that was a bad omen there, unfortunately, to throw himself into. One more look at it. Watch the front bumper of the 3. He thinks he's got enough for the push. Here comes the push. He jams the 18. The 18 gets slammed in with the 66. No room for error. Gets trapped, and away he goes. What a tough break for the Valvoline number 3 Silverado Chevrolet Jason Henry, as he'll have to end up, unfortunately, in the pits and with an EOL to his name if he can get out there in time. But now we're pretty much deadlocked in with 2 more green-white checkered attempts, and this is not looking good, folks. Well, I can't even believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but right now, if Vickery gets out, we've only got 5 drivers on the lead lap. On a plate track. We've only got 2 laps to go. Corey Stahl, Bobby Anderson, Mike Rideout, Wally Babb. In that field, at least, 2 of them are winners this season. 2 of them are not. Honestly, though, I'm not gonna lie, though, folks. If these guys, if they wreck out, I might have to put my headset down and retire tonight. If all these drivers right now wreck before we even get to the finish, I'm going to put this headset down and I'm going to put in my notice on PTM Race TV because I might have to retire. If the Racing Lord is looking down on us right now, we need it. This is going to get wild again, and these drivers know it. Can they keep themselves under pressure and keep themselves cool, because this could get a little bumpy again. Remember, Hofford is not on the lead lap. Dennis Warrens is now back on the lead lap, and Jeffrey Vickery is back as well. So it looks like we'll have 6 on the lead lap now. Hofford is too many laps down, even if you wanted to get a green-white checkered in for the next go. And these guys all wrecked out. Same thing for Chantel Pottle and them, and Jason Henry and Clinton Seymour. There'd be no way they'd be able to get enough laps back to go and do it again and take the lead over from them, I believe. I'm not completely sure. It's honestly hard to tell. But I believe that's kind of how it would work out. CJ Seymour joining us in the comments section. I won't read what he said off. Unfortunately, a little frustration built over on his end here. CJ, very tough break there for you, sir. Hopefully, though, things will kind of get a little bit better for you next time on out, buddy. We do appreciate you at least tuning on in tonight here with us at Pedal Limit Racing League and on PTM Racing TV. All right, fans, you guys like to see the fun in the carnage sometimes. Well, we still have to finish this one out. Who is going to be able to survive and conquer here? We are about to find out. CJ, thanks, man. Appreciate it, sir. Yep. You know as well as anything, man, I won't hold back on this broadcast. And I don't care if they block me or they throw me out the door. I will never, ever hold back my passion or my comments on broadcast, man. If I see something I knows that ain't right, or if I see something I knows we gotta say, I ain't afraid to say it. PTM Racing TV gave me the platform, and I couldn't thank them any other day for it. And it seems like you guys keep loving and appreciate it, so thank you so much for always tuning in. With that said, though, race fans, 2 laps to go. We've got one more green-white checkered if it comes to it. If they mess that up, it's game over. There ain't nothing else they can do. The front row is a field of drivers that have won already this season. The guys behind them never been to victory lane this season, or have not been there in so long. Which one of them will take home the glory? We're about to find out. Into the ButtKicker restart zone. Someone's taking home the ButtKicker 80. Who will it be? Anderson on the outside, doing exactly what Stahl did to him earlier, trying to line him up. Babb trying to push the number 1 right into oblivion. Getting a good push, good backdraft, right on the bump. Got the jumper going. Anderson's got to run. He's going for the inside, possibly. No, he stays topside. Warren's right behind him as well. Warren's now trying to initiate through. We're going to lead him in. White flag. This time on by. Stay green. Stall on the bottom. They're 3 deep. Babb trying to hold it down there. He's got to run in. Warren's has really pushed the outside. Anderson trying to hold it in the middle. He's loose. They wreck. Warrens and Batterson have wrecked it off. Babb's all alone. Wally Babb has got the 99 locked in for a finish. Can he hold Stahl up to the line? Off of turn number 4 to the finish. Wally Babb is going to do it by a tire length to the line. Wow! This season, you could not have asked for any crazier, any more insane in terms of how many winners, how many different positions, and finishers we brought to podiums this season. This has been the most wild season for that, and then some. Still only 1 driver remains with 2 wins or more this season, as Wally Babb now punches his ticket into the victory lane of Atlanta Motor Speedway, and his very first win in Season 8. Absolutely crazy race, fans, and unbelievable to say the least. Wally Babb catches maybe the break of the century and takes it home. Here are your race results here now presented by Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net. Wally Babb, look at the time. 21 thousandths of a second to the line, less than a tire. Babb will take it home over Corey Stahl. Stahl will finish out second. Jeffrey Vickery brings it home back to third. Mike Rideout, another top 5 and a good showcase for him going forward. Dennis Warrens gets a top 5 despite the huge wreck ensuing on the back stretch between him and Anderson. Anderson will finish 6th to round out his day. 7th's going to go to Matthew Hoffert. 8th to Chantel Throttle. 9th to Robert Kahn, and 10th to Clinton Seymour. That rounds out the top 10 for today's action out of our 18 truck field. Race fans, when we come back, it's time to listen in and just see how crazy it may get in the podiums for Victory Lane. Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, race fans. Here now joining me here in your third place position here off the podium, ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Vickery going to take this one home in a wild climactic sequence of events here. Vickery, congratulations on this third place finish and managing to avoid the troubles and managing to avoid the huge wreck ensuing there off the back half. What was it like trying to have to move through with all that there, sir?
That was insane at the end. I knew nobody was on the inside, and they got together. Bobby got sent into the wall, and I just dipped low. So that was nuts. I was hoping to have a run off Corey and try to shoot the outside, but that didn't happen. But that wreck early that I caused, I apologize to all these guys. That was just dumb. I practiced the middle line a lot. I didn't practice down bottom. I wanted to get out of there. I shot up way too fast into the wall, and I just caused carnage, and it was just a nightmare.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a wild little wreck there, unfortunately ensuing on the front straightaway, but it seemed as though after you kind of learned from that mistake, it seemed like really from there it was just kind of playing it cool and kind of taking your advantage when you could. How bad was it really just to get from the bottom to the middle or vice versa for you and this team?
Well, I tried to do it on the front stretch in the tri-oval, which was a bad idea, and it was just, I don't know, it was bad. I enjoyed the top line better, but I mean, like Corey was running the bottom, he was doing good there, so I don't know, I guess it's personal preference, but I was way better up top.
Well, so at the end of the day, at least it worked out okay for a third place finish in this crew for you and this team. Vickery, I got to ask you, sir, who do you want to thank you for that?
Just always threat level midnight guys, fun racing with them, talking to them all race, good communication, working on strategy and stuff like that. And again, just apologize to all the other drivers out there that got in that first wreck from me. And we'll see you guys next week.
We will see you next week indeed. Vickery, congratulations on a third place finish today, sir.
Thanks, man.
Jeffrey Vickery, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home in third. Corey Stahl, no word on him, whether or not we'll have him in the chat here, so we're going to go ahead and give him the second place moniker. Congratulations to Mr. Stahl on that. If he's able to join us, we'll bring him in as we are now about to be approached by literally our newest winner of the season. He adds on to this crazy tally of drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, Wally Babb brings it home at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Wally.
Up, Chris? That's been a long time coming.
Fuck, a long time coming. You haven't even been here before, dude. What's it like now?
Oh, it feels good. It is nice, and it's my home track. I've not had any luck at this race, even with officials. It's just chaos. It was started to turn into chaos tonight.
Started to turn into chaos tonight. Been a bit crazy overall through the position, but I mean, this was probably if we were going to go out the way to go out. I mean, you took this truck. You got into some issues earlier on in the back stretch. You managed to get cleared out, though, in turn 3 and 4. Then you got into some wrecks earlier. Then you managed to get cleaned up. And now, all of a sudden, the final couple laps, you've got a chance. I even said on the broadcast, just because you got to step back there doesn't mean you don't got a chance to win. You proved everything right and literally just took this one home. What was it like to make that final move for victory lane, sir?
It was really, I don't know how to explain it, but I know, like you were talking, when I got sent to the back, I try not to get discouraged because I've been there before and I know how easy, especially on super speedways, of how easy you can get up there if something happens, you know. And it played out. I know when I think it was Seymour Clinton behind me, maybe. He was pushing me into that corner, and then I seen it, him and Bobby got into it, maybe. And I don't know if it slowed Corey down or what, but then it was just like, okay, we're good as long as Corey don't get that run. But it was nice. It feels good to finally win in PTM.
Finally win in PTM and get your name written in stone and one of the many winners we've had this season. Well, it's been a long time coming, sir. I got to ask you, buddy, who do you want to thank for this all?
Oh, I want to thank PTM for putting this on. Y'all do a great job, and there's a lot of competition in here. It's tough. My wife, TLM, the distance, all the guys that I race with back to back. My buddy Sean, he's had some bad luck here lately. He rides the other truck, looks like mine, you know. But Jeff and Corey, Bobby, Steven, we all run together in practice, so I want to thank all those guys.
For sure there, Wally. As you said, long time coming, and finally, you done it, buddy. Congratulations, you're a winner here at Atlanta, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner tonight is going to be Wally Bab taking his Toyota Tundra to victory lane. Long time results, long time coming, and this has been just one of the absolute most insane seasons I've ever personally been a part of. And with that, we've got 2 more races to go. Could we do the trifecta? Could we have 9 different winners in this season? You'll have to find that out with us next time out. But race fans, when we visit Richmond, they race me up. We'll see how it goes there. But for now, thank you so much to the Pitstall Racing Series, the ButtKicker Company, Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net, and Lightning Wrapz for all our support. And to you fans out there, as always, oh my goodness, guys, you keep us going every single day. We will be off for tomorrow night unless something comes up, but we will rejoin you Tuesday night doubleheader. We'll see you guys soon when the green flag flies.